welcome back to my channel. I traveled to Belgium for the release of my latest thriller and it was a blast. It was an absolute blast, but I'm gonna tell you more about it in a minute because first I'm gonna give you an update of my October. About my project The Silence that I'm working on. It will only be released in 2025. With this one I've been working on the zero draft for it. I really like to work with discovery drafts, but to find out who my characters are. I never know this from the beginning. I do outline and I have this idea of who they are and what they want and how they talk and how they behave and what their background is. But until I start writing them, they don't really come to life. And I must say, for Project Silence, I wrote about 30,000 words and then bam! I got it. I got the characters, I got the voice of the main character. I hear her loud and clear now. I had to change it up so much. I started writing on the official first draft, so that's yay, after the 30,000 words. I do just start rewriting a lot of what I have. I did start that already in October, but I had to change the POV to first person, so that was a lot of work, but I'm so excited about it because after the first chapter already I could feel that this is it. This is how this story is supposed to be told. And then most of my time went to the prep work for my book release for KOUD. I was working on the guest list. I had a pre-order going on, so the pre-order had a deadline and then I had to do all the administration. Luckily, I was working with a good friend of mine who is an events planner, and she helped me out a lot, which was great because I don't live in Belgium, I live in Portugal, so I had to travel to Belgium to do all this. I couldn't go there in advance, obviously, so she made sure that the room was prepared and stuff like that. So I had a lot of work with that, and then all this time my new book hadn't been printed yet. So I was a bit stressed out about that because usually the book is printed about 2 weeks before the official release. So if anything goes wrong, there's still time, you know. And now I was waiting for my publisher to tell me that the book was there, but it never was. And then I had this feeling in my gut. I had this feeling. I told my husband that there's something. It's not. There's something. There's just something. And yeah, 3 days before the release, so 3 days also before I was supposed to be on the plane, I got a phone call from my publisher saying that unfortunately there had been an error and the ISBN number, which is like the number that's on the barcode on the book. See? That number there was wrong. So the number on the barcode should be the same as the number in the book because you always have the ISBN number in the book as well, as I can show you here. And they were not the same, which is a problem because if those numbers are not correct, then they cannot be put into the automated distribution system for books in Belgium and the Netherlands, and so they couldn't be shipped to shops. And if they cannot be shipped to shops, they are not in the shops when you want to buy them. So this, like I said, was 3 days before, and that was not so much fun. Now there is always a solution for everything, and I decided to not go berserk. Things happen, shit happens, and then we move on, right? We solve the problem. So the solution for this was that stickers would be put over the wrong barcode, but this would take some time and the books would be in the shops later. And okay, that sucks. As long as I had my batch of books in time, it wasn't a real problem for me personally. For my readers who were waiting for the books to be in shops, yes. But for me personally, I had my book release party a few days later, and I don't care about barcodes. So my people, the people that come to the book release party, they don't care about the barcodes. So we could just have the wrong books without extra stickers on it. So, okay, problem solved. But that was not all. As some of you know, I had a kind of mental breakdown a year ago. It's almost exactly a year ago actually. And it took me some time to recover, and still I have to be careful. My cortisol levels go way high, so if I'm under stress, my body doesn't react very well to it. And I was very proud of myself on how I handled the thing with the book, because there had been some other issues. I'm not gonna bore you with all of them, but there had been some other issues before already that made me have to reorganize stuff, and I did that. I did everything, I think, to make sure the book release would be great. And I was really optimistic and happy about my recovery. So when 3 days later I went to the airport, I was on time in the airport, and I was waiting for my gate to be announced on the digital screens, and it took a while, and so I went to Starbucks, got a coffee, came out of Starbucks, checked the gate again. Now it was announced, went to the gate, nobody was there. Long story short, I missed my flight. I missed my flight because I have no idea. It's still a mystery to me. I wasn't alone, I had my daughter with me. This, I can tell you, is a moment of acute stress. When you are on time in the airport, your bags have been checked in, and you're just waiting to board, and then your flight is gone without you. Well, it hadn't gone, but I couldn't board anymore. We were too late to board for some reason. I can assure you, when you have your book release the next day and you're supposed to arrive that evening, and people are depending on you and you miss your flight, that's stressful. That's so stressful. So I felt my knees buckle a bit, but I manned up, I womaned up, and I managed to get a new flight. It cost me a lot of money. We went on the flight, arrived in Brussels, and well, can you guess already? I didn't have my luggage, nor did my daughter. So we had to leave the airport without our luggage, and then, can you imagine? The next day I had this book release party, and I can prove to you these are the clothes I was wearing on the airplane. And this is the outfit I was wearing on the book release party. I didn't even have my makeup. I mean, we went out to get some stuff quickly. I mean, clean underwear. I got some deodorant, and I was able to brush my teeth, and that's it. That was it. I had a whole outfit planned for my book release for this book, and I didn't have it. And again, I had to push through that, and I did, but I can tell you, it was hard. It was really hard. I had a meltdown hours before the book release, and I really had to lay down for a while, because I couldn't handle all the stress hormones going through my body and the anxiety going through the roof. And well, long story short, the book release party was wonderful. I mean, forget about the clothes and the makeup and everything. The people were so warm. Everybody that came in just gave me the biggest hug ever. They gave me so much energy. We had some lovely drinks. We had a special cocktail that Tanya, my event planner, she made some flavored waters, some colored iced teas. We had like big ants carrying the snacks, as you can see here. We had it was beautiful. We had an interview. I read a little bit, and just the audience was heartwarmingly quiet when I was reading.
Even blijft hij doodstil staan. Zijn witte lichaam ligt spookachtig op tegen de donkere lucht. Littekens kronkelen als slangen over de linkerhelft van zijn lijf.
And I felt so grateful. I was so tired. I hadn't slept that night, obviously, because of all the stress. So I was exhausted, but so grateful. You know that feeling when you are really on you're walking on your gums, and it's all you can give. You gave away, but then you receive so much back, and it was amazing. And I did make a joke when I was on stage, saying that this was the first live book release party that I did, because my first two books, Alone, this is the Dutch version, this is the English one, and Road Trip to Nowhere, which will be released in May next year in English. Well, they were both released during COVID, and I couldn't do a book release party. So the book release party for KOUD was really my first one. And then I made this joke on the stage that I said, you know, it was my first one and it will be my last one because of all the that happened. But honestly, it's like having a baby. I had two babies, and every time you say, okay, this is the last one, and you forget about the pain, you forget about the stress, you forget about the work, the anxiety, and you just go for it again. So I'm guessing I will do another book release party, but not yet. So to sum this up, because this is otherwise going to be a very long video, I had a wonderful time in Belgium. My girl and me, we visited a lot of places. We went to Ghent, we went to Leuven, we went to Mechelen. I did book signings in different places, which was amazing. It was lovely. We saw friends and family, and that was also, yeah, that's just awesome. And now I'm back and I'm working on Project Silence again, and it's going great. It's going great. So I'm very happy about that. I'm also working simultaneously on the short story, well, it's not a short story, it's a novella, that I will be giving out to you guys for free, and I hope to finish it by Christmas, so I'm working on that one too. And I'm packing my bags because it is now Wednesday, and I'm leaving for Dublin on Sunday. Dublin, the literary city, the city of Oscar Wilde. I'm hoping to visit Trinity College there, do some bookshops, have some drinks at Temple Bar District and some other places. If you have any tips for me, Dublin tips, let me know. And that's it. So thank you very much, as always. I cannot believe you've been watching until the end. That's amazing. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao!